It's now time for Brimley Bays basketball, an exclusive presentation of Eagle 95.1, which can also be heard around the world at www.eagleradio951.com. Brimley Bays basketball is proudly brought to you by Sioux Co-op Credit Union, Stacey's Restaurant, Northwest Oil Express, Pro Sports, Chuck Renzi Ford, Bay Mills Community College, Superior Pizza and Subs, Brimley Four Seasons IGA, Boys and Girls Club of Brimley, Tobacco Free Michigan, and Co-ed Flowers and Gifts. Now let's go to the gym for more exciting Brimley Bays basketball. Here with the call of the game is Scott Nason.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1 and online at eagleradio951.com. As the man said, my name is Scott Nason as we are broadcasting from the gymnasium in Ruydard, Michigan. It's snowy, it's still February, but it's March Madness, baby, as we are set to begin what we hope to be a very long playoff run for the Brimley Bays, as they are taking on the Engadine Eagles in a Division IV district semifinal here in Ruydard, Michigan. Our broadcast engineer tonight, Trent Raymond, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios, as the Brimley Bays, number one in all the state of Michigan in Division IV, come into tonight's contest with a record of 21-0. They did have to play a game last night, a first-round district matchup against Ojibwe Charter. The Bays had no trouble in that one. Now, that game was scheduled for Monday night, but due to one of about 5,000 blizzards we've had this month, the Brimley Bays had to play last night, and they had no trouble over Ojibwe Charter, winning by the score of 69-29, taking on a very familiar foe in the Engadine Eagles. These teams have met the past 2 years in the districts, and the Bays won last year in Engadine, and 2 years ago, Brimley won, or rather should say Engadine won in Brimley. Now, these teams have met twice this season, with Brimley getting both of the victories, but they're going to have to play some solid basketball tonight against a very good Engadine team. Engadine 14-7 on the season, a team that seemed to get better as the season went along, and you have a couple athletes, Ian MacArthur and Andrew Blanchard, that you really have to keep an eye on if you're Brimley, because they can individually take over games. And so the Bays, they're going to have to play some solid basketball if they're going to win this one. The winner of this game will take on the Ruydard Bulldogs, as they were successful over Newberry in the other district semifinal. Played just a few minutes ago. It was a good game, back and forth. Newberry had the lead after one. Ruydard held the lead throughout the second and third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, Newberry edged ahead. But it was too much Ruydard, as the host won that game by the score of 76-71. So the winner of this game tonight will take on Ruydard Friday night at 7 o'clock. And if it is Brimley, you'll have it here on the Eagle with Todd Olmstead on the call. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by the Sioux Co-op Credit Union. Your credit union, your home for loans. Check them out online at siouxcoop.com. And by Bay Mills Resort and Wild Bluff Golf Course. Make your way to Bay Mills and dine in at Stacey's Restaurant, or watch the game at Back Bay Grill and Games for great food and a great atmosphere. March Madness going on all across the EUP and Northern Michigan. We do have a couple final scores in Pickford. The district going on at the Purple Palace in Pickford, and it was all Panthers in the opener as they defeated Mackinac Island by the score of 51-14. And they will take on the winner of the second game, which is about to begin, featuring Cedarville and Detour. And the Sioux High Blue Devils, well, their season is over. They defeated Sheboygan in their district opener, but fell just about an hour ago to Kingsley, the Stags, by the score of 42-38. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Northwest Oil Express, where the new name on the business spur, changing the way Sault Ste. Marie changes oil. And brought to you by Bay Mills Community College, committed to providing affordable, culturally relevant, accessible, and high-quality educational opportunities to all. We can apply online at bmcc.edu today. Busy gym here in Ruydard. Actually, they had so many broadcast crews for the Newberry game, they kicked us courtside. We're in the far corner right next to the Engadine student section. We have some Engadine cheerleaders to our left. So if you hear a lot of noise, that means that Engadine is doing well. And while Brimley is very well attended, they're across the way. And so you may not hear them as much, but hopefully you can hear them a lot, because I'm assuming that most of our listeners aren't Brimley Bays fans, but who knows? Maybe some are tuning in in Engadine, and we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. We're going to take our first break on the pregame show. We come back, we're going to talk a little more about this matchup, Brimley and Engadine. The Bays hoping for a long playoff run. They've played 21 games. They've won them all, and they hope that continues tonight. Coming up next here on Eagle 95.1.
Now back to more exciting Brimley Bays action. Here's Scott Nason.
Back at the Harris Call Gymnasium in Rudyard, Michigan. We're about 8 minutes away from the second district semifinal game between the Brimley Bays and the Engadine Eagles. This a Division 4 district, used to be Class D. They made the switch earlier this year to go to divisions, much like they do in baseball, softball, now volleyball, hockey. They want to make everything uniform. So this is essentially Class D, but it's called Division 4. And the winner of this game between Engadine and Brimley will take on the Rudyard Bulldogs. The Bulldogs with a 76-71 victory over the Newberry Indians. And again, that game will be played here on Friday, 7 o'clock. If the Bays win tonight, Todd Olmstead will have a call of that one on Friday. I have Sioux Eagles hockey duty as they take on the Sioux Thunderbirds. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Pro Sports. From a custom print embroidery to nutrition bars, bikes, and your favorite team's accessories, Pro Sports has it on Ashman Street behind Taco Bell. And brought to you by Superior Pizza and Subs. Want to say hello to the crew, Coach Matt Bathy, and employees, family members, friends, Romans, countrymen, all working at Superior Pizza and Subs. Voted the Evening News' #1 pizza for now 2 years in a row. And brought to you by Brimley Four Seasons IGA. Stop by Four Seasons, your local IGA for all your shopping needs. Looking a little bit ahead, of course, the Bays are focused on this one, but if Brimley was to win tonight and beat Rudyard on Friday, and they are the favorites at this point, so we're not going too much far on a limb, they would play in St. Ignace as far as their Division 4 regional, which would be Tuesday, and they would take on either Mackinac City, Pellston, or Harbor Springs, Harbor Light. Mackinac City already with a victory tonight over Alanson by the score of 66-50, and the winner of that game will take on Pellston. Pellston, a pretty heavy favorite in that district. They take on Harbor Springs tonight, and the district final would be on Friday. And at one point, Pellston was the #1 team in Division 4. They had a couple losses, so they fell down a bit. But that could be a very early matchup as far as two of the best teams in Division 4 going on in the division, or I should say in the regional semifinal. If they were to win that one, then you would see them potentially take on Cedarville, maybe Hillman, one of those teams. Cedarville in action tonight, taking on Detour in Pickford. And we did say that Pickford won that game against Mackinac City. I had the final wrong. That was the halftime score. Pickford no trouble over the Islanders by the score of 91-21. So Pickford will take on either Cedarville or Detour, as we have basketballs and all sorts of things flying all over the place. I think they're starting to shoot them at us. They must have heard we were doing the Brimley broadcast. They're intentionally throwing basketballs at our broadcast booth, but that's all right. We'll live in danger zone. My son Vance here, he needs to pay more attention to the basketballs and less attention to his phone here. He's going to guard the front here. I appreciate that, Vance, as again, we're in a different location because the previous game had a couple different radio crews up there. There was no room in our usual spot, so we're courtside. I kind of like it. I like being on the level playing floor. You get a little bit different feel for the game, a little bit different view, and we're definitely right in the middle of the action. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Coed Flowers Plus Gifts, your home for all occasions. And brought to you by Chuck Renzi Ford for all your 2018 lease deals downtown Newberry on Newberry Avenue. Maybe a lot of Brimley fans that are here tonight that might want to hear the broadcast. Well, what I do on my broadcasts is put them online for free. You can hear the podcast of this game later on tonight on the website, thegamesportshow.podbean.com or thegamesportshow.com. You can also find lots of local sports content, including our sports shows from Sioux, Ontario, the Wicked Sister on Ashman Street, and lots of sports goodies from across the country, even around the world, all at thegamesportshow.com and thegamesportshow.podbean.com. We'll have Brimley Bays girls district basketball a week from tonight in Engadine, as the Bays will take on the Engadine Eagles. Brimley in that district along with Rudyard and Newberry. Pretty wide open district if you ask me. That one is going to be very interesting to see what happens. Katie Woolen will have the calls of those games. And again, if the Bays win tonight here in Rudyard, we'll have the district final on Friday against the Rudyard Bulldogs. Todd Olmstead will have the call of that one. And if the Bays win that game, then the next game would be next Tuesday night in St. Ignace. And I believe that is the late game. The first game, I think, starts at 5:30, and the second game would be at 7:30. I'll have the regional games, and if they get to the quarterfinals, hey, we're thinking big here on the Eagle. That will be in Escanaba, and then you would have the semifinals and finals at the Breslin Center. Tim Ellis, if the Bays make it that far, will have the call of that one. So you're going to have a bevy of broadcasters here, hopefully broadcasting a lot of Brimley Bays victories. We're going to take our final break here in the pregame show. We come back. We're going to have the start of the district semifinal here in Rudyard between the Engadine Eagles and the Brimley Bays. You are listening to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1.
Now back to more exciting Brimley Bays action. Here's Scott Nason.
Back at the Harris Call Gymnasium in Rudyard, Michigan, our Division IV district semifinal. The starting lineups are being announced one by one, starting with the Engadine Eagles. Starting tonight, number 3, Ian MacArthur. Number 10, Jonah Miller. Number 12, Hunter Daniels. And starting for Brimley, we still have a couple to go, not 3 starters. Number 12, Hunter Lipponen. Number 20, Marcus Harris. Number 24, Dylan Carrick. Those the starters for Brimley. They're announcing them one by one. Starting for Engadine tonight, wearing number 14, Andrew Blanchard. Engadine in their road green jerseys with the yellow trim. Brimley in their white jerseys with the blue trim. Starting for the Brimley Bays tonight, wearing number 32, Tristan Lyons. He had 21 points in their regular season finale against the Sioux High Blue Devils, beating Sioux High for the second straight year. Starting for Engadine, wearing number 21, Drake DeWeese. The Engadine Eagles are coached by head coach Walter Hansen. And starting for the Brimley Bays tonight, wearing number 34, Zach Gross. The Brimley Bays are coached by head coach Joel Moore. These teams met twice during the regular season, with Brimley winning both games. The second game a little closer than the first. The Bays put up 104 points in that game in Engadine. And this a whole different animal right here, because every team in the state enters district really with a 0-0 record. 21-0 is great, but it's a one-game winner-take-all scenario. And Brimley, they have their sights set on, well, winning the district, winning the regional, and advancing far into the Division IV playoffs. And Engadine, they have those same goals. Again, we're courtside tonight, right between the Engadine cheerleaders and student section. Tip won by the Eagles. They had the ball going right to left as seen on your radio dial. Here's Blanchard with it. Eagles with the ball. Right in front of our broadcast position. Now MacArthur, top of the circle, on the right wing, looking inside. Blanchard, double team, dishes it out. Picked up by Miller. Jonah Miller with the ball. On the right wing, now Miller, bounce pass inside. Nice one. Missing the shot, though, was Hunter Dennis. Rebound picked up by the Bays. Tristan Lyons, top of the circle for Brimley. Lyons gets it inside Lippin and now swings it out. Harris, far corner, 3. Yes, sir! Marcus Harris hits the 3, and it's 3-0 Bays. 30 seconds into this contest. Now Engadine with the ball. Across the midcourt line, double team. That's MacArthur, and that's going to be a jump ball. Brimley got the defense going early. That'll cause the turnover. Want to mention they're talking about the girls district. Want to thank Matt Bathy for this catch. He always catches me on all my errors, which are many. The Bays will play the winner of Rudyard Engadine that game a week from tonight in Engadine. Rudyard probably the favorite in that one. Now Bays with the ball, the 3-0 lead. Harris on the left wing. Marcus Harris, top of the circle, and over to Lyons. Fakes the shot, now goes inside, stolen by MacArthur. Now Blanchard has it. Blanchard 1-on-2, draws contact. This is the shot, rebound, batted in by Hunter Dennis, and it's 3-2 Brimley. 1 minute into this contest. Now the Bays with it, up top. Dylan Carrick. Now Carrick drives, underneath, puts up the shot, good. Dylan Carrick's first two, and it's 5-2 Brimley. 6:35 to play here in this first quarter. Now here come the Eagles. Across the midcourt line, Blanchard. Blanchard with the ball, being guarded by Gross. Now Blanchard between the circles. Pass on the right wing, MacArthur. Back to Blanchard up top. Down the near side. Here's Blanchard again. Blanchard on the near corner. DeWeese DeWeese drives, puts up the scoop shot, no. Rebound, battled for, picked up by Engadine. Hunter Dennis has it up top. Now a left wing three, MacArthur, no good. Rebound picked up by Marcus Harris. Now Harris, pass across the midcourt line, Lipponen along the baseline. Lipponen up top, the Lions. Now Lions inside, Carrick cutting to the basket, up and in. Dylan Carrick with 4, and it's 7-2 Brimley. 2 minutes into this first quarter. Here's Engadine with it. Across the midcourt line, Blanchard. Now Blanchard with the ball. Engadine looking to slow it down a bit. Brimley likes to run, but they can play a slow style as well. Unselfish Brimley team. We've seen that all year long. Now Blanchard really taking some time. He's just dribbling the ball at the midcourt line in no hurry. We're going to see if this is a tactic by Engadine. If they just want to try to slow it down, play kind of Western UP style where sometimes scores are in the 40s and that team wins the game. Now here's the Eagles with it. Still at the midcourt line, not really looking to set anything up at this point. Blanchard with it. Now Blanchard drives. Blanchard dishes it out. Far corner. Miller, three, way off. Rebound picked up by Lions. Now Lions to Gross. Gross underneath. Gross puts up the shot. No, some contact. No call. Rebound picked up by the Eagles. Here's DeWeese with it wide open underneath as Miller finds it, draws contact, puts it up, and one. As that'll be Jonah Miller with 4 points. That'll be the first foul in the game by either side. This one's going to go against Brimley. It's 7-4 Brimley. 4:55 to play here in this first quarter. We can see who got the foul and put it up on the board. So at the free throw line, Jonah Miller, he has all 4 points so far tonight. Free throw up, free throw, no good. That one will go out of bounds to Brimley. Our officiating crew, some of the best in the business if you ask me. Ron and Pat Van Sloten along with Jimmy Myers. Now we have a whistle. They do finally put that foul on the board. That was against Tristan Lyons, his first. And now it looks like we might have a clock issue. They might have added some Brimley points there. I have them down for 7. They put 10. There they go. They got it right. Must have been listening to the broadcast. 7-4 in favor of Brimley. 4:54 to play in the first quarter. The winner takes on Ruydard here on Friday. Bulldogs with a 5-point victory over Newberry. Now Lions over to Carrick. Carrick on the right wing at the free throw line. Now dishes out to Gross. Gross drives, draws contact. That'll be the first foul on Engadine. That's going to go against Jonah Miller. Non-shooting foul. Gross to inbound. Far side of the court. Now Gross. Looking. Still looking. Lobs it inside. Not a good play there, but Lyons gets it. Lyons dishes out to Harris. Harris far side 3. No good. Rebound. Picked up by, whoa, look out. As a couple of players go for the rebound. Was Blanchard, I believe. Miller got the rebound, and Gross will get the foul and almost look like a WWE type body slam. Not an intentional one. So they're going to call the foul. The foul on Garrett Johnson. I think that's not the correct. That should be on Gross. That's his first. 7-4 Brimley now inside. The Eagles with it. That's Gould. Now Gould puts up the right-handed shot. No good. Rebound Carrick. Carrick with the ball. Across the midcourt line. Dylan Carrick at the side. Now here's Lyons. Fakes the 3. Looking inside. Now Gross open. Passes up the 3. Gets it up top to Carrick. Carrick at the free throw line. Shot. No good. Rebound. Picked up by the Eagles. Blanchard. Now Blanchard, outlet pass to DeWeese. DeWeese drives, puts up a shot, good. Drake DeWeese with 2, and it's 7-6 Brimley. Engadine hanging around here, and almost a steal at the midcourt line. Now Carrick with it. Carrick on the right wing for Brimley. Now Carrick, double teamed, gets it outside to Gross off of his hands, picked up by Lipponen. Now Lipponen with it. Lipponen up top, Gross. Gross, open 3, no good. Rebound Carrick. Carrick gets it over to Lipponen. Now he launches right wing 3, yes sir! Hunter Lipponen's 3, and it's 10-6 Brimley. 3:30 to play in this first quarter. Now full court press applied by the Bays. Engadine still has it on their side of the court. They get it across the midcourt line. Blanchard. Now Blanchard to DeWeese. Now DeWeese drives. Underhanded shot. No good. Rebound. Picked up by Lyons. Lyons with the ball. Now outlet pass to Gross. Gross lost it off of his hands. He's done that a couple times. A little nervy out there. And both teams maybe a little nervous to start. 10-6 Brimley, 3:14 to play here in this first quarter. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Tobacco Free Michigan. Did you know the #1 form of tobacco use in teens is vaping? Find out more at tobaccofreemichigan.org. Eagles with the ball across the midcourt line. Now Mason Harris checks in for Brimley, his first action. Eagles with the ball trailing by 4. 3 minutes to play in this first quarter. Now steal by Marcus Harris as he gets tripped up. And Mason Harris was open underneath, but Marcus Harris, that'd have been a 2 minutes tripping call. That was the Sioux Eagles broadcast, but just going to be a foul here. And that'll be the second team foul on the Eagles rather. That's Blanchard with the foul. Carrick has it. Under 3 to play in the first. Dylan Carrick over to Marcus Harris on the right wing. Now Harris over to Lyons on the left wing. Now bounce pass inside, stolen by Engadine. That's Blanchard, but it goes off of his hands out of bounds. Will stay with Brimley. Other games going on tonight. Pickford over Mackinac Island, 91-21. The winner will play either Detour or Cedarville. And Sioux High's season over. They fall to the Stags of Kingsley, 42-38. Now Marcus Harris, long three. Yes, sir. Marcus Harris from NBA range, and it's 13-6. Favor of Brimley. Marcus Harris feeling it tonight. Now here's Blanchard. Nice pass inside. Up off the glass, and then that's DeWeese. He has 4. That cuts the lead to 5. 2:20 to play in the first. Now Carrick has it. Dylan Carrick draws contact. That's going to be Miller's second foul, so we'll see what they do here. Coach Hansen may want to get Miller out of the action. 2:20 left here in the quarter with 2 fouls. And that's indeed what he does as number 3, Ian MacArthur, checks in for Miller. 2:20 to play in this first quarter. Now up top, Lyons launches 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Mason Harris, and he draws contact. That's going to be another foul, I believe, on Engadine. That'll be their 4th. That foul on number 20, Kyle Gould. Now pass inside, Lyons off the glass. No, gets the rebound. No, batted out to Lippinen. Now Lippinen top of the circle. He launches a 3, no good. Rebound goes to Gross. Gross along the baseline. He's double teamed. Now we're in the far corner. That goes out of bounds. And that should stay with Brimley. 2:01 to play here in the first quarter. 13-8 in favor of the Bays. As now Tristan Lyons will sit down. Dylan Carrick checked back in. Now here's Marcus Harris over to Lippinen. Lippinen on the left wing. Over to Harris. Now Harris on the right wing. He launches another 3. No good. Rebound inside. Picked up by the Eagles. Engadine with it, trailing by 5. Minute 50 to play in this first quarter. Now Engadine across the midcourt line. Blanchard with it. Blanchard being guarded by Mason Harris. Now Blanchard inside. Draws contact. That's going to be before the shot. Mason Harris didn't like the call. That'll be on him. Third team foul on Brimley. First on Mason Harris. Minute 39 to play in this first quarter. Packed house here in Ruydard. Not an empty seat. Some are standing right next to our broadcast booth. Now the Eagles with the ball. Swing it up top. Here's Blanchard, top of the circle. Blanchard now leaves it for Gould. Gould on the right wing being guarded by Carrick. Gould over on the far side. Dennis. Now Dennis with the ball to Gould. He launches a long 3. Good. From way downtown, Kyle Gould's first 3, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. Minute 15 to play in this first quarter. Bays with the ball. Lyons with it. Bounce pass, Gross. Gross, far corner, up top. Lippinen back to Gross. Gross now draws the double team. Gross up top, Lippinen. Lippinen over to Gross. Now Gross up top, Lippinen. A minute to play. Carrick on the left wing. Bays being patient on this possession. Now, bad pass there. That went to row 7. That's never a good thing if you're passing it. 55 seconds left in this first quarter. 13-11 in favor of Brimley. Engadine hanging around a bit here. You let a team hang around long enough, never know what could happen. Now the Eagles with it. 50 seconds to play in the first. Andrew Blanchard. Looks like the Eagles may play for the last possession here. We've seen them do this a couple times in this first quarter. Slow it down, slow it down. It's working so far. They're only down by 2. Now Blanchard. Pass it over. Now wide open. DeWeese, 3. No good. Rebound picked up by MacArthur. Now he swings it over to Gould. Fakes the 3. Drives. High off the glass. No. Rebound by Lippinen. 25 seconds to play. Now Lippinen. Fancy dribbling. Passes over to Harris. Open, far side. Passes at the 3. Now shoot it from the corner. No good. Rebound. Inside. Battled for. Picked up by Lipponen. 10 seconds to play. Now Lipponen over to Lyons. Lyons on the left wing. Bays still have time. 5 seconds. Bounce pass inside. Carrick stolen by the Eagles. See if they can get a shot off. Blanchard has it stolen. Carrick's got to put it up quickly. He does. No. After one quarter, we got a ball game, folks. 13-11 Brimley. We'll be back for the second quarter here on Eagle 95.1.
You're listening to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Now back to the action. Here's Scott Nason.
Back in Ruydard, Michigan, a Division IV district semifinal. After one quarter of play, it's 13-11 at Brimley over Engadine in boys basketball. Marcus Harris with 6 for the Bays, and Jonah Miller and Drake DeWeese with 4 each for Engadine. Eagles with the ball, and that one goes right off the hands of DeWeese. I think he looked how open he was before he had that ball go out of his hands. Bays with it. 4 team fouls for Engadine, 3 for Brimley right now. Carrick over to Lyons. Lyons on the left wing for the Bays. Now Lyons. Pass over to Carrick. Carrick now launches the 3 off the glass. No. Rebound, battled for, picked up by the Bays. Bays really not getting a whole lot of inside game so far. They've shot a lot of 3s. Here's Lipponen up top. Lipponen. Pass along the baseline. Lyons. Now Lyons puts it. That one partially blocked by Blanchard. That'll go out of bounds. And it might be a foul, I think, on Engadine. And that'll be their 5th team foul, as that one goes against DeWeese, his first. Bays to inbound. Gross. That one out of bounds. Almost goes to athletic director John Krenz. He's not eligible. And he's a Rudyard guy, so he's not even playing if he was eligible. I think his eligibility went away years ago. Now Gross left wing 3. That one's off the mark. Rebound picked up by Harris inside. Marcus Harris now stolen by Engadine. Eagles hanging around in this game, trailing by 2. 7:10 to play in the second quarter. DeWeese cross the midcourt line. Now that one partially deflected, stolen by Brimley. Lob pass just out of the reach of Gross, as that was Lipponen with the try. Bays look a little nervy right now. We knew this was going to be a battle. You can throw the records out when these two teams play, especially in the playoffs. It's always a battle. We've seen that over the past couple years, and we're seeing it right now. Now Engadine with the ball. Inside, shot, no good. Rebound, battled for, picked up by Engadine. Now Dennis with it, up top DeWeese. He launches the 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris, pass over to Lipponen. Lipponen along the baseline. Nice spin move. Lost the ball. He traveled before he lost the ball. And that's going to go back to Engadine. Again, we're right smack in the middle of the Engadine cheering section, student section, faculty, alumni. Pretty much everybody in Engadine is right around us at this point. So, good stuff. Now the Eagles with it, trailing by 2. Pass over the far side. That's Gould. On the near side, 10-footer Dennis. Good. We have a tie game. Hunter Dennis's first 2, and it's 13-13. Now Brimley with it. Carrick, top of the circle. Over to Gross. Gross on the left wing. Looking inside. Now dishes it out to Lipponen along the baseline. Hunter drives. Puts up the shot. No. Rebound. Picked up by Lyons, and he's fouled. He's going to go to the line, and Brimley will have their first free throws of the game with 6:05 to play here in this second quarter. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by the Boys and Girls Club of Bay Mills. Our mission is to inspire and enable young people to realize their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. That foul was on Blanchard, his second, so Blanchard and Miller both with 2. As Lyons misses the first free throw, he'll shoot one more. 6:05 to play here in this second quarter. Second free throw up and good, so Lyons gets 1. And Bays have a 1-point lead, 14-13, 6 minutes to play in this second quarter. Now the Eagles with the ball, cross the midcourt line. Here's Dennis with it, bounce pass up top, Miller, swings it over, long 3, Gould, no good, rebound, picked up by Lyons. Nice rebound by Tristan. Carrick with it across the midcourt line. Carrick over to Harris, Marcus Harris, NBA 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Blanchard. Now the Eagles with it. Andrew Blanchard on the near side, right wing. Dennis back to Blanchard. Blanchard being guarded by Gross. Now Blanchard over to DeWeese. Up top, Blanchard. Eagles slowing it down a bit. Bounce pass inside. Blanchard dishes it out. That's Miller, and he lost the ball, and well, that might have been off of Harris as he ran into one of his own players on the bench. That'll stay with Engadine. 5:19 to play in this second quarter. 1 point Brimley lead. Now the Eagles with it. On the right wing. That's Gould. Now Gould drives, puts up a tough shot. No good. Rebound picked up by Carrick. Now here's Marcus Harris with the ball. Harris over on the far side. Lions. Lions up top. Harris thought about the three. Now drives. Left elbow shot. Good. Marcus Harris with 8. And it's a 3-point Brimley lead. 4:50 to play in this second quarter. Blanchard across the midcourt line. Open underneath. Miller dishes it out. Faking the three is Gould. Now up top. Near side three. Dennis. That one's way off. That one hit the top of the backboard. Rebound goes to Carrick. Now Marcus Harris. NBA left wing three. Yes, sir. Marcus Harris with another three. He has 11. Timeout on the court. 4:30 to play in the second quarter. It's 19-13 in favor of the Brimley Bays. Here are 5 good reasons for Michigan high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse of injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. You can learn more at the MHSAA website. Marcus Harris with 3 threes tonight. He has 11. 11 of the Bays, 19 points, and Brimley leads by 6 by a score of 19-13. As boy, the student section's really getting into it here. Of course, you can hear the Engadine students, cheerleaders, and everybody else around us. And Marcus Harris is doing the job for the Brimley Bays. He has 11 points, and Engadine's only led once. It was 2-0, but it's been all Brimley ever since. Winner of this game will take on the Ruydard Bulldogs in the district final here in Ruydard on Friday. That game slated for 7 o'clock, and if it is Brimley, Todd Olmstead will have called that one here Friday night. Now a steal there, almost a steal by Mason Harris as he goes into the Engadine student section. Now the Eagles to inbound. Packed house, standing room only here in Rudyard. A few of them are standing right in front of us, unfortunately. Now that one goes out of bounds. We'll stay with Engadine. Third meeting of the season between these two squads. Brimley's won the other two. The second one closer than the first. This one closer than the first and second. Now a steal by Harris. Marcus Harris with the ball, bounce pass, Gross again, fumbling that ball, but I think it might have been fouled before the shot. Now Marcus Harris to inbound. Here's Lippinen. Lippinen inside. That's going to be a travel. Rather, that's Lions. As that'll go back to Engadine. 4:12 to play in the second quarter. You can hear the podcast of this game later on the website, thegamesportshow.com or thegamesportshow.podbean.com for those that might want to relive this. So far, so good. Now here's almost a steal by the Bays. Double team. Picked up by Blanchard. Nice pass there inside MacArthur, but it goes right off his hands out of bounds. I want to say hello to Ben Diedrich listening tonight. Appreciate it, Benny, for listening in. I want to say hello to Tim and Lindsay Ellis as well, listening tonight. Now here's Marcus Harris, NBA three. Yes, sir! Marcus Harris has got it going on from that spot. Another three, 14 points on the night. And those are good from NBA and, I don't know, FIBA. Pretty much anywhere there's a three, those are good from. It's 22-13 Brimley. Harris, he's hitting those from way downtown. Hitting them from Raber. Now here's a 10-footer, no good. Rebound picked up by the Bays. Their biggest lead right now is 9. Here's Harris again, 3. That one's a little forced there off the mark as Mason Harris battles for the rebound, goes out of bounds. Bays with a 9-point lead. 3:17 to play here in the second quarter. Now Engadine with the ball. I want to say hello to Eagle 95.1's own Katie Woolen listening in as well. Jim Lee Hockey is here. He'll have the highlights on 9 and 10 News later on. Now a three by Blanchard near side. Good. Andrew Blanchard's first three, and it's a 6-point lead. Bays with the ball. Carrick over to Lions. Now up top, Carrick. Carrick over to Harris. Right wing launches a three. No good. Rebound, Mason Harris underneath. And I think he might have been fouled on the rebound, and that'll be the 7th foul, as that was not a very popular call here from the Engadine section. As Coach Hansen giving the business to our official, Ronnie Van Slow. That's a big foul, too. That's Blanchard's third. That's a huge foul for Engadine, as Andrew Blanchard with 3 fouls. We may not see him until the second half. 2:49 to play in this second quarter. 1-and-1 opportunity. Mason Harris rattles that one in. His first point. First point off the bench for the Bays. Brimley now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Now Harris's second free throw. No good. Rebound picked up by the Eagles. Bays get it right back. Lions off the glass. No. Another chance. No. Lions again. Third opportunity. Good. Tristan Lyons with 3, and it's a 9-point lead once again. Engadine with the ball, 2:30 to play. Now inside, the Eagles have it. On the right wing, Dennis. Dennis up top to Deweese. Over between the circles to Schneider. Schneider to Deweese. As the Eagles start to slow it down again. Now Gould on the near side. That's Dennis. There's a chance for Engadine. Still has the ball. Eagles pass it over. Now nice pass inside Schneider. He puts it up and in. Schneider has 2. And we have a timeout on the court. 2:04 to play here in the second quarter. Brimley with a 25-18 lead over Engadine. Other scores tonight in district basketball. The game we had before this one, it was a good one. As Newberry and Ruydard back and forth pretty much the entire game. It was the Ruydard Bulldogs who would prevail with a 76-71 victory over Newberry. So they will be in the district final here Friday night against either Brimley or Engadine. And of course, if it's Brimley, we'll have a call here on the Eagle. Pickford all over Mackinac Island by the score of 91-21. So they will play either Cedarville or Detour. More than likely Cedarville. And the Soo High Blue Devils boys basketball season is over. They fall to Kingsley tonight, 42-38. Bays with the ball, leading by 7. 2 minutes exactly left here in the quarter. Now Harris over to Lipponen. 3 short. Rebound picked up by the Eagles. Engadine still hanging around here with Blanchard on the bench with those 3 fouls. Now the Eagles with it. That's Kyle Gould. Gould now swings it over the far side. That's Dennis drives, puts up off the glass. No. Rebound picked up by Lyons. Now Lyons, pass, Carrick. Carrick on the right wing. He launches the 3. No good. Rebound picked up by the Eagles. Marcus Harris and number 12, Hunter Dennis, they tangle up. Getting a little aggressive out there. And they're going to call that foul on Harris, his first, team foul number 4. 1:32 to play in the second quarter. Eagles with the ball trailing by 7. Now here comes Engadine. Miller drives. That one, nice block there by Lyons, but it goes off of his hand. Nice defensive play by Tristan Lyons. He goes to inbound. Minute 26 to play here in the quarter. Engadine with it. Gould. And that one goes off looks like an Engadine player, as that was number 21. Deweese went pretty much right off his numbers. Don't think he was ready for that pass. Here's Carrick with it across the midcourt line. Dylan Carrick over to Harris. Marcus thought about the 3. Now he dishes it way out. That one partially deflected, stolen by Deweese. And that's going to be a foul on Brimley. Should be a non-shooting foul. That's their 5th. That'll go against Tristan Lyons, his 2nd. So you have Lyons with 2, really the only Brimley player in foul trouble. You have Blanchard with 3 for Engadine. That's a big 3 fouls for him. Eagles with the ball. Between the circles, Gould. Now Gould up top. Miller. Double team stolen by Carrick. Dylan Carrick with the ball across the midcourt line. Over the far sideline, Dylan Carrick. with it. Under a minute to play in the first. Coming up, we'll have our halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, try to get some other scores. All sorts of bodies to the floor as Lipponen has it. Lipponen, nice fake. Puts up the shot, misses it. Rebound picked up by MacArthur, and that's going to be a foul on Brimley. They're sixth, so a non-shooting foul. You never want to have a foul that far on your side of the court, or their side of the court, I should say. That foul will go against Lipponen, his first, team foul number 6. Not a lot of free throws in this game, just 5. Just 1 for Engadine. Now checking in is Hunter Sapp for the Eagles. His first action. Engadine with the ball. That one almost stolen. Nice defense by Gross. Bays applying the pressure. Wide open underneath. And putting the shot in is Hunter Sapp right off the bench. He found himself wide open. That cuts the lead to 5. I think if you're Engadine, you go into the halftime break down 5. You're feeling pretty good about life. You're playing the number 1 team in the state right now in Division 4. Now Harris with it. Marcus Harris in the paint. Pass over to Gross. Gross trapped underneath. Gets it up top to Carrick. 10 seconds. Carrick over to Mason Harris. He puts up the 8-footer. No good. Rebound picked up by the Eagles. 3 seconds at the midcourt line. See if Engadine can get a shot off. They do. Oh, and it hits the front of the rim at halftime. We got a good one here in Rudyard. It's Brimley 25, Engadine 20. We'll be back with our halftime show here on Eagle 95.1.
Now back to more exciting Brimley Bays action. Here's Scott Nason.
Scott Nason back here in Rudyard, Michigan. Our Division 4 semifinal between the Brimley Bays and Engadine Eagles in boys basketball. And our score at halftime, it's a low-scoring game. The Brimley Bays lead the Eagles by the score of 25-20. The Bays led 13-11 after 1. Engadine's only led once in this game at 2-0, but they've never really went away as the Bays got that lead up to 9, but the Eagles clawed back despite the fact that Andrew Blanchard, one of their star players, has been on the bench for a little bit of this game with 3 fouls. But it's the Marcus Harris show so far, as Marcus Harris has 14 points, including 4 from downtown. Really the difference in this one is the Bays lead by 5. Looking at the scores for Brimley, as I mentioned, Marcus Harris with 14, Dylan Carrick with 4, Hunter Lipponen and Tristan Lyons with 3, and Mason Harris with 1. For Engadine, a very balanced scoring attack. Jonah Miller and Drake DeWeese have 4 each, 3 apiece from Andrew Blanchard and Kyle Gould, and 2 points, Hunter Dennis, Charlie Schneider, and Hunter Sapp. Free throws, Brimley 2 of 4 in that first half. Engadine just 1 free throw, 0 for 1. As I mentioned, foul trouble. Andrew Blanchard has 3 fouls for Engadine, Jonah Miller with 2, and Tristan Lyons with 2 for Brimley. And we kind of knew this was going to be a battle between these two teams. It always is during the districts, many times a very low-scoring game, and this one is no different. We do have some other finals in earlier tonight here in Rudyard. It was the host Bulldogs over Newberry by the score of 76-71. So the winner of this game will take on Rudyard in the district final. That game will be played Friday night here in Rudyard, 7 o'clock starting time. And if it's Brimley, Todd Olmstead will have the call of that one here on the Eagle. Pickford all over Mackinac Island by the score of 91-21 in their district semifinal at the Purple Palace in Pickford. The winner will take on either Cedarville or Detour. That district final also on Friday. And the Soo High Blue Devil season is over as they fall to Kingsley by the score of 42-38. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with what looks to be a very exciting and intense second half of basketball. Hey, it's March Madness. It may still be February. We may have 100 feet of snow on the ground, but it's March Madness, and that should warm up at least something out there. Although it's really not too bad tonight. At least it's not snowing, I think. We'll be back here on Eagle 95.1.
Now back to more exciting Brimley Bays action. Here's Scott Nason.
Back at the Harris Call Memorial Gymnasium in Rudyard, Michigan, the Brimley Bays and Engadine Eagles in a Division 4 semifinal. It's been a dogfight. The Brimley Bays lead Engadine by the score of 25-20 as we're about to enter the third quarter. I want to give a couple other hellos. We already gave hello to a few listeners. I want to say hello to Sean Hill, our friend from last year, of course. His son, Sean Hill. No, you get out of here. We'll see you next week. One of the Pelston fans trying to steal my caramel corn. I got to say, if you come down to Rudyard you got to get the caramel corn. Best caramel corn in the UP, bar none. George Dugan does a great job with the caramel corn. We got 2 bags going home with the Nason clan tonight. So our friend from Bellston tried to sneak that one. We'll see you in the regionals there, pal, next week. Of course, the Bays still got a lot of work to do here if they're going to get to the district final on Friday. Bays with the ball, 5-point lead. Marcus Harris with 14 points for the Brimley Bays. Get Andrew Blanchard with those 3 fouls for Engadine. He's out there now. We'll keep an eye on that number. Now the Bays offense right in front of us as we start the second half. Zach Gross with the ball. That's going to be a foul. Oh, boy, that's on Blanchard. His 4th. Wow, what a big call that was. That's a little bit of contact, and Blanchard goes to the bench, and that is a huge call right there. As Coach Walter Hansen, he did not like that call. That was a tough one to take if you're Blanchard. Now a lob pass near side Lyons. Lyons off the glass, good. Tristan Lyons with 5, and it's a 7-point lead for the Bays. That's a huge foul on Blanchard. He didn't even make it 15 seconds into this second half. Now here's a full court press. Contact, no call. Engadine with it. Now MacArthur drives. That one goes off a Brimley player out of bounds. That should stay with the Eagles. 7:29 to play in this third quarter. Andrew Blanchard on the bench with those 4 fouls. Just picking up his 4th one. Now the Eagles to inbound. Lob pass near side. Miller. Miller on the right wing for Engadine. Lost the ball. Goes to the floor. Picked up by Carrick. Now what do we got here? We got all sorts of commotion as Marcus Harris goes down for that ball. And I think we're going to have a foul. And that one I think is going to go against Engadine as well. That is a foul on Miller. That's his 3rd. So 2 key players with some big foul trouble for Engadine. Bays with the ball leading by 7. Carrick. Top of the circle. Now gives it to Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris to Lyons. Now Lyons right in front of our broadcast position. Nice move. Lyons drives, puts it up and in. Tristan Lyons with a great individual effort, and it's a 9-point Brimley lead. Bays have come out of this second half on fire. Now here are the Eagles with it. Inside the paint, high arcing shot, no good. That one by Miller, rebound picked up by Lyons. Now Lyons over to Gross. Zach Gross across the midcourt line. Harris open right in front of us. Marcus Harris 3. Yes, sir! Marcus Harris with his 5th 3 right in front of our broadcast position. Timeout on the court. The Bays with a 7-0 run to start this third quarter, and it's 32-20 Brimley. 6:41 to play here in this third quarter. Boy, that one looked good. We had as good a view as anybody. When you see Marcus Harris from afar hit those, pretty exciting. When you see him hit it right in front of our position, well, needless to say, it's very exciting. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by the Sioux Co-op Credit Union. Your credit union, your home for loans. Check them out online at SiouxCoop.com. And by Bay Mills Resort and Wild Bluff Golf Course. Make your way to Bay Mills and dine in at Stacey's Restaurant or watch the game at Back Bay Grill and Games for great food and a great atmosphere. So timeout on the court, not the start the Engadine Eagles wanted. They haven't scored a point, and they had one of their best players collect his 4th foul, Andrew Blanchard. So Coach Walter Hansen at some point is going to have to roll the dice and probably bring Blanchard off the bench before this one gets out of hand. It's a 12-point lead for Brimley, but you got to start to figure if this gets to 16, 18, 20 points, you got to get them out there because this one could get out of hand quickly. Now the Eagles with the ball across the midcourt line. Schneider with it. Schneider along the baseline. Dishes it out to Gould. Now swings it far side. DeWeese, long 3. That one's short. That's an air ball, and Lyons gets hammered underneath. That's going to be a foul on Engadine, and that'll be the 3rd team foul on the Eagles. That one will go against MacArthur, his 1st. Bays with the ball leading by 12. 7-0 run to start this third quarter. Now the Bays with it. Lippinen dishes it outside. Carrick over to Harris. Marcus Harris 3. No good. Almost like everyone's going to go in. That's going to be a foul on Brimley on the offensive rebound. And that'll be the first one here in this half. That foul on number 34, Zach Gross, his second. Eagles with the ball, still looking for their first points here in the second half. DeWeese cross the midcourt line. Gould. Now Gould with it on the near side. MacArthur. MacArthur over to Gould. Now here's DeWeese with it underneath. That one batted around rather, picked up by the Bays. Carrick over to Lipponen. Lipponen inside. That one blocked. Goes right to Gross, who puts it up and in. Zach Gross, his first 2 points. Bays all over Engadine in this half. 9-0 run, and that one almost goes out of bounds. Full court press, causing Engadine some fits right now. They got to get it across the midcourt line, and they don't. That's a big defensive stand again for the Brimley Bays, as they are applying all sorts of pressure. I don't know what Joel Moore said at half, but you might want to bottle that up and say it all the time. Bays have come out on fire here in this third quarter. Now here's Carrick with the ball. Bays with it. Marcus Harris along the baseline, dishes out to Lipponen. Now Lipponen drives left of the lane, swings it over to Harris. Harris with a three. That one goes off the top of the backboard, so we'll go back to Engadine. Marcus Harris definitely shooting a lot of shots here in this game, but he's making a lot of them too. He has 17 points, half the Brimley point total of 34. Now the Eagles with it. Again, full court press applied by Brimley. Broken by Engadine. Schneider. That one blocked inside by Lions. Here come the Bays with it. Lipponen. Lipponen inside. That one stolen by the Eagles. And here comes Engadine. Eagles with it. Now a long three, far corner. No, rebound picked up by Marcus Harris. Now Harris with the ball. That one goes out of bounds. Will stay with Brimley. 4:56 to play in this third quarter. 34-20 lead for the Brimley Bays. They've started this second half on a 9-0 run. Now inbound pass right to Lyons. He puts it up and in. Tristan Lyons with 9. The Bays lead by 16. Now here's Engadine with it. Lob pass stolen by Mason Harris. He goes right to the stands. Picked up by Marcus. Marcus inside. That one stolen by Engadine. Wild action back and forth here in Rudyard. Engadine with the ball, trailing by 16. They yet to score in this third quarter. Now Gross goes to the floor for a rebound. That's going to be a jump ball, and that'll stay with Engadine. 4:31 to play in this third quarter. Bays led 25-20 at half. They've scored 11 here in this third. Engadine yet to score. Now Blanchard indeed does come in. You had to roll the dice if you're Coach Walter Hansen. Blanchard with those 4 fouls. And we'll see what he does. Now here's Blanchard. He drives, and that's going to be a travel. Blanchard tried to do too much. Things aren't going the way of Andrew Blanchard tonight. He has more fouls than points. Bays with the ball, leading by 16. Carrick at the midcourt line. Now Carrick drives. Carrick gets around everybody with the right hand, puts it up and in. Dylan Carrick with 6. It's an 18-point Brimley lead. Now Blanchard with it. He goes up against everybody and puts it up and in. He just kind of willed that one in. First points for the Eagles. Now here's Lyons on the right wing for Brimley. Tristan Lyons with the ball in the paint. Now that one's stolen by the Eagles. Here's Blanchard. Now Blanchard, nice pass to Dennis. Now Dennis had that one taken away by Marcus Harris. Lyons with it. Bays with the ball, leading by 16. 3:45 to play in the third quarter. Marcus Harris over to Gross. Now Gross drives the baseline. I think he traveled before he drove. So that'll turn the ball over to Engadine. 3:41 to play in this third quarter. Brimley with a 38-22 lead. They're not going to get to the 104-point total that they got to way back in early December, unless they really cannot. Who knows with this team? You never know. Now Blanchard over to DeWeese. He launches a 3. That one's good. Drake DeWeese with a 3. He has 7. And all of a sudden, it cuts the lead to 13. 3:20 to play in the third quarter. Marcus Harris across the midcourt line. Marcus Harris, 4-year starter for this squad. Lots of injuries have hampered his Brimley career, but he's been healthy this season. Now here's Gross, right of the lane. Puts up a shot. Good. Zach Gross with 4. It's a 15-point lead for the Bays. 3 minutes to play in the third. Now a pass stolen again by the Bays. This one by Dan Parrish, his first action. Here's Lipponen. Lipinen near side, in the paint, puts up the shot, short, rebound. Marcus Harris bats it out to Lyons. Lyons with it, Harris open, Parrish hits the shot, no good. Rebound, and that's going to be, I think, a foul on Harris. Going for the rebound, Marcus Harris. That's going to be his second foul. So no Bay player with real foul trouble yet. Engadine with the ball, trailing by 15. Now DeWeese looking inside, getting it to Sapp. Now faking the shot is Schneider. He drives. Oh, he dishes it out, but the Engadine player fell down. Gould, that one goes out of bounds. 2:30 to play in this third quarter. As now we have a whistle before the inbound. We'll do it again. So Zach Gross to inbound. You have Gross, Lipinen, Carrick, Parrish, and Marcus Harris, the five out there for Brimley. Bench has been used sparingly in this one for Brimley. Now Carrick with the ball. Over to Lipinen, top of the circle. Now Carrick. Carrick back to Lipinen. Marcus wants it. He's open near side. Carrick with it. Now Harris along the baseline. Marcus puts up the right-handed shot. No good. Rebound picked up by Miller. Now here's Blanchard with it. Across the midcourt line. Gould. Pass to DeWeese. Inside, stolen by Parrish. Parrish has it for the Bays. Now Parrish gives it to Gross. Under 2 to play in the third. Carrick on the right wing. Over to Gross. Now Gross. Over to Harris, rather. Carrick on the right wing. Near side, Parrish right in front of us. Carrick back to Harris. Back to Carrick. Bays keeping it outside the big line, or the long line, I think George Blahal calls it. Now here's Gross in the paint. Gross finds some space, puts it up and in. Zach Gross coming alive in this third quarter offensively. He has 6, and it's a 17-point Brimley lead. Oh, there's a big collision at the midcourt line with Gross and Blanchard, as the good sportsmanship by both of those gentlemen, as Gross will get the foul. It'll be his third. Cedarville Oliver Detour 67-32, so it looks like a Cedarville Pickford District final, much to no one's surprise. Will we have a Brimley Rudyard District final here? We'll still work to do for the Bays, but they're on their way. They lead by 17. Minute 15 left in the third quarter. Blanchard long three. Engadine good. So Andrew Blanchard still playing with those 4 fouls. He has 8. Keeping the Eagles alive. They're down by 14. Lions over to Carrick. Dylan Carrick with the ball. Now Carrick, top of the circle, gets it over to Lipinen. Under a minute to play in the third. Parrish, Lipinen, between the circles, being guarded by DeWeese. Nice steal there by the Engadine player. That was Gould, actually. Now Blanchard has it. Blanchard passes outside. Wide open 3. Gould, that one's no good. Rebound picked up by the Bays. Lipinen, across the midcourt line quickly. Lipinen with it. Over inside Lyons. He puts it up off the glass and 1. Tristan Lyons with 8 points in this quarter. He has 11. And we haven't seen too many free throws tonight. Only 5 free throws in this game combined. We only have 33 seconds left in the third quarter. That's amazing. Referees letting them play tonight, and they've called a good game, in my opinion. They usually do. That foul will be on Miller, so that's his 4th. Now Lyons puts up the free throw, no good. Rebound off the hands, I believe, of Gross. That'll go. No, it goes off an Engadine player. Will stay with Brimley. Marcus Harris to inbound. 44-28 Brimley. 32 seconds left here in the third quarter. Lions up top. Carrick. Near side, Gross drives the baseline. Puts up the 8-footer. No good. Rebound picked up by Blanchard. Now Blanchard with MacArthur. Inside. That one just over the head of the Engadine player. Goes out of bounds. Will stay with Brimley. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Harris with the ball. Carrick over to Lyons. 10 seconds. Lyons right in front of us. That goes out of bounds. Will stay with Brimley. 7.2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Lyons to inbound. Now Carrick has it. 5 seconds. Carrick to Lipinen. Marcus Harris at the buzzer. 3. Yes, sir! Marcus Harris is feeling it tonight. He hits another 3. He has 20. And after 3 quarters of play, Brimley 47, Engadine 28. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here on Eagle 95.1.
You're listening to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Now back to the action. Here's Scott Nason.
Fourth quarter starting in Rudyard. Another three. Marcus Harris, no good. Rebound picked up by Brimley Bays with a big lead now as they put it off the glass and in. Tristan Lyons. He has 13. The Bays lead by 21. They only led by 5 at half, but Brimley outscores Engadine 22-8 in that third quarter, and it's Marcus Harris with 20 points for the Bulldogs. Shot missed by Engadine. Another chance, no good. Rebound battled for, picked up by MacArthur. He puts it up and in. Ian MacArthur's first two. That cuts the lead to 19. Winner of this game will take on Rudyard Friday night. If Brimley holds on, Todd Olmstead will have a call of that one around 6:45 pregame with the opening tip at 7. Still some work to do here for the Bays, but they're in control, leading by 19. Brimley with it now, double team. Lipinen up top. Carrick over to Gross. Gross back to Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris with 6 threes tonight, and some of them have been long threes. Now Gross with it. Gross up top, Harris. Marcus with the ball. He's pretty much played throughout this game. I don't know if he's even gone to the bench tonight. Why would you at this point? Now Harris over to Carrick. Carrick along the baseline. Now Carrick dishes it for Lyons. That's going to be a foul on Carrick. That'll be the 4th foul on Brimley. 4th team foul. That one will be the first on Carrick. 6:36 to play in this fourth quarter. Engadine with the ball, trailing by 19. They led once, 2-0, but Engadine has not led ever since. They've come close, especially in that second quarter. Eagles with the ball, tough shot underneath. That one partially blocked. The shot by Gould. I think Carrick got a piece of that. Now Carrick has the ball. Over to Harris. Lyons along the baseline. Lyons drives, puts it up off the glass, and then, boy, he's got that shot going tonight. Lyons with 15, and it's a 21-point lead for the Bays. Now a steal by Harris. Harris to Gross. Gross keeps it alive. Near corner right in front of us. Again, we're courtside tonight. Very nice. I would recommend Todd get this position Friday. This is a fun place to call a game from. You're amongst the fans, that's for sure. We've had to kind of shoo some away from our cords in front. Now Harris, another three. No good. That one almost went down. Rebound picked up by Blanchard. Still playing with those 4 fouls. Engadine with it. Driving off the glass. No good. Rebound picked up by Carrick. Now Carrick to Lyons. Lyons underneath. Harris open, but Lyons takes it himself. Misses. Gets the rebound. Puts it up. And good. Tristan Lyons, all 6 points in this quarter for Brimley, and they're starting to run away with it now, leading by 23. 5:25 to play in the fourth. Now driving to the basket, nice pass, and a nice bucket there by Hunter Dennis. He has 4, and it's a 21-point lead for the Bays. Now Carrick with the ball. Dylan Carrick on the right wing. Now Carrick over to Harris, another 3, far side, no good. Rebound picked up by the Eagles, Deweese. Now Deweese gets it over to Blanchard. Blanchard across the midcourt line. Blanchard pass, now goes outside. Long 3, Gould, good. Kyle Gould, his second 3, he has 6. Cuts the lead to 18. 4:40 to play in this fourth quarter. Now Carrick with the ball. Dylan Carrick, nice move. Now Carrick drives inside, puts it up off the glass. No, keeps it alive. And then we're going to have a foul. I think that one's going to go against Brimley. That's going to be their 5th team foul. And that might be against Carrick again. If it is, that's his 2nd. No, they're going to give that one to Lyons. That's his 3rd. So now we have early substitutions here as Parrish comes into the game along with Grindaluna, Pomeroy, and others. We have a timeout on the court, 4:34 to play in this fourth quarter. It looks like Brimley's going to advance to the district final. They lead Engadine by the score of 53-35. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Northwest Oil Express, where the new name on the business spur, changing the way Sault Ste. Marie changes oil. And brought to you by Bay Mills Community College, committed to providing affordable, culturally relevant, accessible, and high-quality educational opportunities to all. You can apply online at bmcc.edu today. So Engadine with the ball, trailing by 18, 4:34 to play in this fourth quarter. Marcus Harris with 20 to lead all scorers for Brimley. Tristan Lyons with 16. for the Eagles. They're led by Andrew Blanchard. He has 8. Now a shot, and they're going to count that one, as now Blanchard in double digits with 10. And he'll go to the free throw line. This one not over yet, but the Bays have brought in a lot of substitutions, so we'll see what happens here. That cuts the lead to 16. And believe it or not, this is Engadine's second free throw of the game. And that's their first make. They're now 1 of 2. Wow. That's unbelievable. Now Mason Harris with the ball across the midcourt line. Now Mason Harris loses it, gets it to Schneider. Charlie Schneider with it. Blanchard inside, now dishes it out. Here's MacArthur with the shot, good. And all of a sudden, that cuts the lead to 13. 4 minutes to play. Mason Harris with the ball. Over to Grinda Luna. He shoots a three, no good. Rebound picked up by Engadine. Here's Blanchard with the dunk. Andrew Blanchard, you might want to get a timeout if you're Joel Moore. Maybe going to the bench a little bit too early. That cuts the lead to 11 with 3:57 to play here in this fourth quarter. Well, that's quite a turn of events here off the timeout. Engadine as Andrew Blanchard with the dunk. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Pro Sports. From custom print embroidery to nutrition bars, bikes, and your favorite team's accessories, Pro Sports has it on Ashman Street behind Taco Bell. And brought to you by Superior Pizza and Subs, voted the Evening News' #1 pizza yet again. I want to say hello to Coach Matt Bathy and the gang at Superior Pizza. So the starters back out for Brimley. As this one not over yet. Bays with an 11-point lead. We still have 4 minutes to play here in this fourth quarter. Coming up in the post game, we'll recap the scoring. We'll see if head coach Joel Moore can find us first and foremost and see if he wants to come over. Now the Bays with it, leading by 11. Marcus Harris to Gross underneath. Gross puts it up, no. Rebound Lions, no. Picked up by the Eagles. They can cut it to within single digits here. Blanchard still playing with those 4 fouls. Look at Blanchard all over the court. Now stolen by Carrick. Carrick to Lipinen. Lipinen underneath. Layup. Good. Hunter Lipinen with 5. That's a big bucket there. That extends the lead to 13. 3:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Now wide open underneath. Engadine player. That one blocked, I think, by Harris. As that was number 10, Jonah Miller. Looked like he was going to have an uncontested layup, but Matt, I have no idea. And I won't, we'll just leave that alone. As that one goes out of play off the hands of Harris. 3:24 to play in the fourth quarter. Bays with a 13-point lead. Looking to go to 22-0. And that one blocked by Carrick. Picked right up, back up by the Eagles. Now Carrick goes to the floor. Harris goes to the floor. All sorts of commotion out there. This has turned into a dogfight here as the Bays get the ball. And boy, their fans really like that one. .3:14 to play. 3:14 to play here. It's entertaining when you sit courtside. You see things that you normally don't. Now a shot along the baseline, good. That one by Schneider. Schneider with 4, 11-point lead. 3 minutes to play. Now here's Gross with it. Gross to Lipinen on the right wing. Bays in no rush here. Lipinen, Carrick between the circles. Dylan Carrick with the ball. Carrick still has it. Swings it over to Lipinen. Lipinen up top. Carrick on the right wing. Now Carrick over to Lipinen. Lipinen. Top of the circle. Back to Carrick. Now Marcus Harris over on the far sideline. Harris over to Lipinen. Lipinen between the circles. And that's going to be a foul. Just the 5th team foul on Engadine. Blanchard's been playing with those 4 fouls pretty much this entire half. That foul will be on Schneider, his first. Marcus Harris to inbound. 2:33 to play in the fourth quarter. The winner will take on Ruydard Friday night, 7 o'clock. Todd Olmstead will have the call if it's Brimley winning this game. And if the Bays win that one, we'll be in St. Ignace for the regional on Tuesday. I'll have the call of that one against likely Pelston. But who knows? Crazy things can happen. First things first, Bays got to win this one. They have the ball leading by 11. Here's Gross. He finds some space, puts it up underneath and good. Zach Gross with 8 points all in the second half, and it's a 13-point lead. Now Blanchard passes it inside. That one, I think that might have been a foul on Brimley. The fans don't like it. So Engadine with just their third free throw of the game. Bays only have 5, so we've seen some games where they're on the line 20, 30 times. Not tonight. That foul on line's his 4th. So at the line, number 12, Hunter Dennis makes the free throw. 2 of 3 from the line, Engadine. Cutting the lead to 12. So we'll see what kind of strategy Walter Hansen, head coach of the Eagles, implores here. That free throw rattles out. Now here's Carrick. Carrick wide open underneath. That one blocked, but we're going to have a foul. I think he got a little contact there. That was going to go against Schneider. That'll be Schneider's second. 12-point Brimley lead, 2:10 to play here in this fourth quarter. Free throw up by Carrick, good. Dylan Carrick with 7. Now second free throw, up and also good. So Carrick drains them both, and that extends the lead to 14. 2:05 to play. Pass deflected at midcourt. Here's Harris. Great defense over there. Now the Eagles do get it, though, underneath the basket. Short shot up and in by Charlie Schneider. He has 6. As Marcus Harris with the ball. Harris, that one goes off a Engadine player out of bounds. Minute 50 to play here in this fourth quarter. 12-point lead. The student section's having some fun with each other. Engadine fans are loud. Now a steal by the Eagles. Engadine with it. That one blocked underneath. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Wow. Brimley fans don't like that call. Didn't see much there, but that one will go against Brimley. So it's a 12-point lead for the Bulldogs. For the Bays. Sorry, I looked at the scoreboard. It said Bulldogs. Free throw up. Good. By Charlie Schneider. He had 7. That cuts the lead to 11. Minute 43 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Bays just don't quite have this one put away yet. Second free throw, no good. Rebound picked up by Gross. Now we'll see if Engadine starts fouling. Now that's going to send Brimley to the line, be a 1-and-1. Are they going to call that against Brimley? What's the call? Yeah, 1-and-1. That's going to go against Engadine. Minute 40 to play. 59-48 Brimley. Looked like they were going to blow them away. They got the lead to 23. Coach Joe Moore went to the bench. Maybe a little bit too early. All of a sudden, we still have a ball game here with a minute 40 to play. Now we have a timeout on the court. Minute 40 left here in this fourth quarter. Bays trying to hang on to this one. They lead at 59-48. Nearly 2,000 of the state's top athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award. Underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance, the applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Applications for this year are closed, and you can watch the MHSAA website for the announcement of applicants, finalists, and scholarships recipients in the weeks ahead. 59-48 Brimley, $1:40 left in this fourth quarter. Bays looking to improve to 22-0 on the season and advance to the district final in Rudyard Friday against Rudyard. So here we go. Zach Gross at the line. That foul was on Miller. He's done. That's his 5th foul. He'll foul out with 4 points. Free throw up and in by Gross. He has 9. That extends the lead to 12. We knew this game wasn't going to be easy. It looks like Brimley's going to win this game, but it wasn't easy. Now second free throw by Gross, also good. Zach Gross now with double digits all in the second half. Quickly down court. Eagles have it. Long 3 near side, no good. Rebound picked up by inside. That's Blanchard. He puts it up and in. Eagles trail by 11. Now Marcus Harris with the ball. Harris with 20 points on the night. That's going to be a quick foul. That's going to send Marcus to the line, shooting a 1-and-1. The minute 21 to play here in the fourth quarter. Broadcast engineer tonight, Trent Raymond, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios, doing a great job as always. Always appreciate the jobs that he and their board op Dallas Miller do all season long. We appreciate their efforts. Marcus with the free throw, his first of the game, good. He has 21, that extends the lead to 12. If the Bays do win and take on Rudyard, Bays beat Rudyard twice, although they had a very close game early in the season. Second free throw, no good. That's going to be a foul on Lyons, and that's not a good foul for him. He's going to foul out, and that's going to stop the clock and send Engadine to the line, so you don't want to do that. So Tristan Lyons will foul out, but he had a solid game, especially in the second half. 3 points at half, but he will end the game with 15 points, 12 points in that half. As he gets a big ovation from the Brimley crowd. They got the entire bleachers over on the far side full. I don't know who's watching the store in Brimley tonight, but want to say hello to them. Well, of course, the Spear Repeats and Subs folks, they're watching too. Free throw up and in by Blanchard. Blanchard now with 16 points, lead Eagle scores. That cuts the lead to 11. Second free throw up, no good. Rebound picked up by Mason Harris. Now here's the Bays with it. Gross, and that's going to be a quick foul. You pretty much have to do that if you're Engadine right now. You got to play the foul game, as you don't have a whole lot of other options right now, trailing by 11 with a minute 17 left here in this fourth quarter. So here's Zach Gross at the line. He drained his 2 free throws last time. 1-1, makes that one. So Gross really having a nice second half as he makes that free throw. And Bay's doing a good job from the line tonight. They've made 8, make it 9. Zach Gross makes those 2 look easy. As Gross has 12, and it's a 13-point lead, and a steal there by Carrick. This could do it. Dylan Carrick's going to be fouled, and it looks like Brimley will improve to 22-0 and advance to the district final Friday night here in Rudyard. You'll want to tune in to that one, or if you're going to come here to watch, you might want to get there early. This is going to be a packed house at the Harris Hall Gymnasium. Now first free throw up and in by Dylan Carrick. He has 9 points. Makes it a 14-point lead. Second free throw up by Carrick and good. So the Bays doing a good job salting this one away at the free throw line. So Carrick in double digits with 10. Now Blanchard gets it over. Long 3 far side, no good. Rebound by Marcus Harris as he gets it across the midcourt line and gets fouled. And that's pretty much all she wrote here in Rudyard, as the Bays have been in control of this one throughout, but you just never got the feeling it was put away. Now, well, it looks like right now it is, because the clock is under a minute. And Marcus Harris at the line, 21 points on the night. Make it 22 as he makes another free throw. We'll add up the free throw stats here, but the Bays in this quarter, 9 of 10. That's how you put a team away when you're up, when you hit free throws like that. Make it 10 of 11. As Marcus hits another free throw, he has 23. That's a 17-point lead. Now we'll see if they bring the bench out. And another 3 there by Blanche. You got to give him credit. He's played with 4 fouls this entire half, cutting the lead to 14. Now Marcus Harris near sideline. He gets hammered, and he'll shoot 2 free throws as now the double bonus is in effect. Coming up in our post-game show, we'll recap the scoring. We'll see if we can get a final in from that Cedarville game. Cedarville way up on detour. As Marcus Harris at the line. Will shoot 2. He has 23 points on the night, including 6 threes. Another free throw made by Brimley. They're putting on a clinic at the free throw line here in this fourth quarter. Marcus Harris now with 24. Make it 25. My goodness. One of the best free throw shooting performances I've seen a Brimley team do. Now we're going to have a quick whistle, and I think we have a timeout. Timeout, Coach Walter Hansen, as we'll see if we can get some other players into the game. Brimley's going to win this one. They lead by the score of 70-41, and they will take on Rudyard on Friday night. And we'll have the call of that one on Eagle 95.1 and online at EagleRadio951.com. Todd Olmstead will have the call of the game. And if you want to hear this game later on, you can go to the podcast page, thegamesportshow.podbean.com or thegamesportshow.com. And we'll be back at the Wicked Sister on Monday, March 4th. Our sports show, we do it on the radio from 6 to 7 o'clock on the Eagle as well. We do a full 2-hour show online at thegamesportshow.com. Yours truly, along with Katie Woolen, Dave McKeag, Butch Davis, E.J. Russell, and a cast of thousands recap the week that was in local sports. We also talk about some regional and national sports featuring Detroit, Toronto, and the teams that you care about. You can find all past shows, and we do a bunch of them, not just from the Wicked Sister, but also from Sioux, Ontario. Dave McKeag, he has about a show a night over there, all at thegamesportshow.com. Eagles with the ball, trailing by 16. Brimley will improve to 22-0. Engadine will end their season at 14-8. Now here's Dennis with it. Hunter Dennis along the baseline. Gets the ball back up top. They want to get it to number 35, Charles Grant. They're saying give him the ball. He gets it. He shoots it. He misses it. Rebound picked up by Lippinen. Over to Gross. Now Gross, starter still in for Brimley. We saw the reserves in 4 minutes. And the Bays fans on their feet. Brimley will advance to the district final on Friday as they defeat Engadine by the score of 70-54. We'll be back with our post-game show here on Eagle 95.1.
Now back to more exciting Brimley Bays action. Here's Scott Nason.
Back in Rudyard, Michigan, the Brimley Bays defeat the Engadine Eagles by the score of 70-54 and advance to Friday's district final against the Rudyard Bulldogs. And we're joined right now by head coach Joel Moore. And well, coach, it was a close game going into halftime, 25-20, but you guys come out with a big run. Blanchard gets his 4th foul seconds into it. Yeah. You guys scored the first 12 points, and I wouldn't say cruise to the victory, but you had the victory, win by 16 points. Your thoughts on the game?
A 16-point game, but it was a lot closer than that. It was Blanchard picking up that 4th foul was huge. For us, it allowed us to make a little bit of a run. We couldn't do anything with him. It just seemed like we couldn't get out going offensively in that first half, and it was a little bit slower pace than what we're used to. And I think we were ready for. Well, in theory, we were ready for it. I don't think it looked like we were quite as ready, but we held our own. We were able to come out in that third and make that run, and that's kind of been where we've been doing it. Is those third quarters wear them down, and grind it out in the first half. Has kind of been our thing, I guess, and then make our run going into that second.
Was getting Blanchard out, we talked about it on the broadcast, having those 3 fouls, and, he gets that foul, and then you go on that 12-0 run. Engadine is a much different team without him on the court. Oh, yeah. He's that kind of player, isn't he?
He's a special player. He's probably going to, one of the best, if not the best, Class D player in the UP. He's a special player. When you got a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", or whatever he is, he can drive. He's hitting them from basically half court, off and on, or a step inside half court. He can finish at the rim. He dishes. He draws defenders in him when he drives. If he doesn't draw the defenders, then he's going in by himself, taking it one-on-one. Truly a special player. And then he came back in, then made a little bit of run, made a game out of it. And we're up in his face, and he's still hitting from 5, 6, 7 feet out. So, nothing you can do to stop it. That's why that run was so critical when it was for us.
Marcus Harris with 25 points, coach. In that first half, he has 14, had that 3-point shot going, when as a coach, when you see him shoot from that distance, at any point are you saying no, or do you just let Marcus be Marcus and take that shot because he hits it a lot of times?
Yes and yes. It's tough. It's tough because there are times where we, if he catches fire, we want him to keep shooting. We want Marcus to keep going. But he also knows there's times where he takes a bad one on occasion, or sometimes he gets caught up in the moment. That's being a young player. That's being a high school player. And he's going to learn through those. He keeps learning through them now. And there are stretches where he'll hit 3 in a row, and then all of a sudden he'll miss one, by what looks to me like 10 feet, but it's really not that close. And so he has that miss sometimes, but He's a special player too. We talk about Blanchard, but Marcus can just catch fire. We want him when he's shooting. We want him to keep going.
Two guys that had big second halves. Coach Tristan Lyons, 15 points overall, 12 in that second half. And Zach Gross did not score in the first half. Mm-hmm. He had 12 points. And the stat I really like, Coach, you guys unofficially 14 of 19 from the free throw line, 12 of 13 during that stretch where they were fouling. And, a team's not going to catch up when you're making free throws like that.
Yeah, I have, we're making 12, I don't know what you said, 12 of 13 in the fourth quarter. That's hard. When you're nursing an 8-9 point lead and they had to foul, and that's basketball. They have to foul at that point. And we hit everyone down the stretch, everyone but one. So when you're shooting 90% in the fourth quarter from the free throw line, usually you'll be able to hold on, and we were thankfully able to hold on tonight.
Coach, final question. You get a little bit of rest, and then you take on Ruydard on Friday. A good, entertaining game before this one. Ruydard with the victory over Newberry. You played them twice, won a very close game. What do you know about Ruydard, and what do you got to do to beat them?
Both really close games. I think one was 4 and one was 10 or 12 or so. I don't know. Both very close. Ruydard's a scrappy team. They got some nice young talent. They got some veteran leadership. So they got, Suggett has them going pretty well over there. But, hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on some of their youth and make some mistakes. You never know. That's why you play the game. Ruydard's played us tough. It's a conference game, rather. It's a team that we faced. It's a team we got a long history with. We know each other. We know their coaches. We know their players. Our players know their players. It's close. So those are always hard. Those are always you got to keep your eyes open and ready, and you got to keep the gas on the pedal because they're gonna come ready. That much I know. They're absolutely gonna come ready. They're gonna give us their best shot.
Coach Joe Moore joining us on the post-game show. Coach, Todd Olmstead will be here covering the Friday game. If you guys win, I'll talk to you Tuesday in St. Ignace for the regionals.
Hope to see you there.
I hope so as well. Thanks again, Coach.
Thanks,
that's head coach Joel Moore joining us here on the post-game show as the Bays defeat the Engadine Eagles by the score of 70-54. Recapping the scores, Marcus Harris with 25 points for the Bays to lead all scorers. Tristan Lyons with 15, Zach Gross 12, Dylan Carrick 10, Hunter Lippanen with 5, and Mason Harris with 1. And for the Engadine Eagles, Andrew Blanchard with 19 points, Drake DeWeese with 7, along with Charlie Schneider. 6 points from Kyle Gould, 5 points Hunter Dennis, 4 points apiece, Jonah Miller and Ian MacArthur, and 2 points from Hunter Sapp. With the win, the Bays improved to 22-0, and again will be in the district final Friday night here in Ruydard, and Engadine ends their season at 14-8. That's going to do it here from the Harris Call Gymnasium in Rudyard, Michigan. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening tonight. I want to thank our broadcast engineer, Trent Raymond, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios. Don't forget, we will have district final basketball on our airways and online at eagleradio951.com on Friday night around 7 o'clock as Brimley will take on the Rudyard Bulldogs. Todd Olmstead will have the call of that one. And if the Bays win that one, we will have regional basketball Tuesday night from St. Ignace. That's going to do it here from Rudyard. Again, our final score, Brimley with a 70-54 win. We'll get back to regular programming here on Eagle 95.1.